How you doing? Back at it here. It is your boy Baddog here with another therapy session. I wonder if we're going to get any victory laps this year as Giants fans. I wonder if that's in the cards for us. I really do, man. I don't really know what the hell is going on with this team, but I know that it's really bad. 0-3, another wasted season. Another year where we haven't even turned the calendar from September to October, and we're already looking forward to next year. It leaves my winters free, I can tell you that. It really doesn't, because as you know, I don't go anywhere. I cover the Giants all the time. I saw my guy Taco Master in here real quick. Lakers start in about a month, so be looking forward to at least that'll give me something fun to do, because covering the Giants just is not fun anymore. Always a big shout out to everyone in the chat. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. It does help out. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell. Rob's in the house. Mike, Joshua Kemp, Ed 95, Frank Quazzo, OJ, C Ham, Lizzie. What up, PA? Ethan, Ernie 8-bit in the house. Luann, Rutgers, Tiger, Thor, Kansan Zero. How we doing? Appreciate you being here. Appreciate all you guys and girls blowing up the post-game video again. I always appreciate that. Hitting that hype button and all that good stuff. It helps out. Big Moo, the legendary. Hammer, what up? Nah, we lose to everybody. We'll lose to the Bears this year. We'll lose to the Bears. But, yeah, man, I tell you, the video I did yesterday, I thought that was one of the best ones I did. Yeah, I yelled a little bit, but I felt like it was more of a controlled rant. But obviously, there's a lot of issues here, a ton of issues. And I think it is obvious that there is a toxicity within this organization, whether that be the head coach, the GM, the front office. There's something amiss here. And you would love to blame it on the coaching staff, and I think the coaching staff has worn out their welcome. I do believe that Dable, although I've been saying all year I don't think he'd be fired, I do believe that it may be time for him to go. Brian Dable won 9 games his rookie year and coach of the year. He's won 9 games since. He's 9-28, I believe, since that day. He's 11-33. Since they started 7-2. It's pretty bad. 11-33 is a 25% winning percentage. That's not going to get you very far anywhere. So obviously there's a major problem here, and you need look no further, as I said in the post game. And if you haven't watched it, watch it and share it out with everybody you know. Don't forget to hit the hype button. It all helps. But yeah, man, the Giants are no good. Saquon Barkley, we knew his greatness. He was great here, greater on a better team. We knew McKinney was a really good player, better on a better team. What we didn't know was the Daniel Jones thing. And I think that the Daniel Jones thing speaks volumes about how badly this organization is run, because Daniel Jones didn't look like he even belonged on a football field when he was a Giant. The Colts have scored 30 points every game so far this year. They scored 29 against Denver. You technically could give them the one game, okay? And if you did that, they would have scored 30 points every game. That's 3 games. Daniel Jones scored 5. 5 times out of 67 games, they scored 30 points. That's not getting it done, man. That ain't getting it done at all. So there's a reason that this has happened with Daniel Jones. And it just goes to show you that Brian Dable is not the quarterback guru. Perhaps the quarterback guru is Shane Steichen. Perhaps that's what it is. Because the fact that Daniel Jones looks unbelievable, he's the first quarterback in the history of the NFL in the Super Bowl era anyway, to have at least three rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns, and no turnovers in his first 3 games. It's crazy. I was talking about this in my post game, and I just want to show you something. It's funny because I put this on Twitter today. And if you don't follow me on Twitter, you got to follow me on Twitter. But I put this on Twitter today, man, and people are like, "Oh, what are you talking about? You bashed Daniel Jones his whole career. You bashed Daniel Jones. What are you talking about?" That doesn't make what I say here any less true at all. I knew what Daniel Jones needed to be successful. This is 2019. As you can see, I'm way fatter here. I'm probably about 215 there, 218. I'm like 168 now. So you're talking 50 pound heavier bad dog there, and a few beers in. We were having a good time. But I knew then what Daniel Jones could do. But after 6 years of bad football here, it was time for him to go. And I never blamed Daniel Jones 100% on the Giants' losses, but there's no question about it. Daniel Jones had a hand in losing. It's not like they did that he was absolved of all losing here. He was not. But you're going to hear exactly what I say, what Daniel Jones needs. And hell, Daniel Jones has it in Indianapolis right now. Lamar in trouble, and boy, he's good. So let's take a listen to this one right here.
Let him know. Listen, man, Daniel Jones is having a hell of a game today. That's 4 touchdowns. The man's 18 out of 24. Converted a 2-point conversion, ran for 10 yards, playing a hell of a game. Our head coach still sucks. Giants lead, 27-21 right now, 5:21 third quarter. You gotta love the way Danny Jones is playing today. He's just amazing, man. This kid's got a ton of potential. If we can get an offensive line around this kid and actually get him a real coach, he's going to be dangerous in the NFL. You heard it
one more time.
If we can get an offensive line around this kid's got a ton of potential.
One more time for those in the back. One more time.
If we can get an offensive line around this kid and actually get him a real coach, he's going to be dangerous in the NFL. You heard it first from the Baddog.
If you give him an offense, if you put an offensive line around him and give him a real coach, he's going to be dangerous in the NFL. We never gave him a real coach. We never gave him an offensive line, and we still haven't given the players here an offensive line or a real coach. Isn't that insane, man? 7 years, 4 head coaches, 3 GMs, and a 40-95-1 record, the worst in professional football since 2017. This shit can't happen. And there is really no way to change it, unfortunately, man, because the owner, is John Mara, and you can't get rid of the owner. You can't get rid of the owner. That's something you cannot do. So the Giants are not good last night. Russell Wilson was absolutely dreadful last night. That's the worst I've seen Russ play in a long time. Now, I didn't see him play his first year in Denver, and I know he did not have a good year his first year in Denver. I know that he didn't. But that was bad. Russ usually takes care of the ball. He threw 2 careless interceptions, trying to force the ball down the field. He had an intentional grounding penalty, which the Giants would have backdoor covered if they had made a play there, but obviously they did not. So that didn't help either. And but people want to blame Russ, and Russ had a terrible game. No question. I'm not absolving Russ. He didn't play well. But the 4 plays on the goal line were absolutely terrible. It was a horrible design. I don't know what the hell Mike Kafka was doing. You can't blame Russell Wilson for that red zone offense. Go back and look at the plays. The intentional grounding. The Giants literally had 4 receivers run curl routes right at the goal line. Go back and look at them. They're all across the field on the goal line. Nobody's in the corner. Nobody's in the back of the end zone. They literally all just turned around to the goal line and they were all covered. So he threw it away. Now he should have thrown it at a receiver's foot or at least made it closer to, avoid the intentional grounding penalty. But that was a 10-yard loss. That puts us back to the 14. Then the New York Giants decide this is a good time when you're down by 2 touchdowns and you have 3 minutes to go in the game. This is a good time to run a quarterback draw with Russell Wilson. Explain that one to me, Mike Kafka. That wasn't Jackson Dart. That wasn't Lamar Jackson. That's not Josh Allen. Hell, it ain't even Jalen Hurts. Why are we running a QB draw on 2nd and goal from the 14-yard line with 3 minutes to go in the game? Down by 2 touchdowns. Explain. Horrible. And then the next plays, he just threw it out of the end zone. He wasn't close to anybody. Everybody was covered. They didn't run Cam Scatterbo once, and Scatterbo was a beast. The only really good thing to take, well, there's 2 good things. The half that Andrew Thomas played, he was really good again. Hopefully Andrew Thomas plays the whole game because once he left the game, it showed. He was really good. Brian Burns continues to be really good. Cam Scatterbo is a beast. He's your running back number 1. He's earned that spot. He's earned that spot, no question. 60 yards on the ground and a touchdown, 60 yards in the air, and a guy just kills people when he hits him. He destroyed that defensive end, knocked him out of the game, almost killed the defensive back trying to tackle him. Wow, Derrick Henry 3 times on a goal line can knock it in. That's crazy. So Cam Scatterbo has been a really pleasant surprise. But you don't run him 1 time from the 4-yard. It's kind of like what they did when they played Washington. When they threw that stupid pass to Marcus Bowe. It's ridiculous. Wow, Baltimore just totally screwed that up. But yeah, man, you should have ran Henry again, honestly. But the Giants' play calling in the red zone is it's atrocious. It's inexcusable. And I don't know what's going through Kafka's head. You know what else is funny, man? The bottle of scotch that I drink, it's not cheap. That's an expensive bottle of scotch. And I'm sitting there going, I'm going to have to buy another bottle of scotch because there's only like 3 wins left in that bottle over there. And I'm glad that I didn't buy it because I don't think I'm finishing that bottle of scotch this year. I don't. Even when we better beat the Saints, but if we go to 1-5, do I really want to drink a glass of scotch because we're 1-5? It's not really a victory scotch. You'd rather just save that for a cold December night on a weekend or a Christmas or a Thanksgiving. That's normal. That's when I started buying that scotch, was just for special occasions like that. And then I decided, because Philly 500 did his victory cigar and I don't smoke. So I was like, well, I might as well drink a victory scotch. And it's good scotch. But I didn't buy a bottle this year. And it doesn't look like I'm going to need to, which sucks. Want to give a big shout out to Sleeper, who sponsors the stream, of course. Check out Sleeper, guys and gals. Let's hear from the sponsor. Really cool stuff, man. I'm telling you. I have a lot of fun with this. I didn't hit my picks. You're going to see my picks here. I did not hit my picks yesterday. League neighbors did not get the touchdown. Russ under 225, hit it. Pacheco over 39 yards rushing, hit it. League anytime touchdown, did not. Anyway, let's hear from the sponsor. Be back to respond to your comments right after this. What's going on, guys and gals? Do you think you know football? Then try to turn your football knowledge into real money with the Sleeper app, the ultimate fantasy sports app that can turn game day into payday. Just download the Sleeper app and pick more or less on your favorite players. With more stats than any daily fantasy app, just choose 2 or more of your favorite players from pregame or live. Pick more or less from the predicted stats, and you can win up to 100 times your money if your picks win. There's also a couple of really cool things about the Sleeper app. You can place in-game contests, contest voids for injuries. There's only a $1 minimum entry for users. Updated scoring to track your fantasy players' sleeper picks in real time. Entries can be made within 30 seconds. It's really that easy, and you get safe and fast withdrawals. You can check out my picks for the week right over here. And you guys can do the same thing. Predict the hottest football stats like passing yards, receiving yards, touchdowns, interceptions, and much more to cash in on your daily fantasy football skills. And I got a great promotion for you guys. Just use the promo code BADDOG, that's BADDOG, and Sleeper will match your first deposit all the way up to $100. You definitely want to check out the Sleeper app. There's a lot of fun to be had on that. Test your football knowledge and skill, win some money, and let's go Giants. Let's go indeed. Also, of course, big shout out to Body Armor Sport Water, baby. And alkaline water, the pH 9 Plus and proprietary electrolyte form with a wide mouth. Freeze hydration. Body Armor Sport Water, built for all day hydration for the athlete and all of us. Somebody who was being a smart ass in my video today said, Baddog, you got so much more room for sponsors. You're missing out on cash. Don't worry, there's more sponsors coming. There's more sponsors coming. Listen, man, YouTube takes a lot away from content creators, so sponsorships are, I'm not going to turn it down. It's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. But because it's very generous of them to sponsor my channel, what can I tell you? But I also want to say about the video, and then I'll get into these super chats, which I greatly appreciated. The video, one of my favorite things about being a content creator, I love just being able to talk sports or read people's comments from like other fan bases. And I always say, it's kind of humbling when I have Cowboys and Eagles or Commanders fans. I'll be like, dude, you're my favorite Giants content creator. You know, I hate the Giants, but I just love watching your videos. Or people say, I'm watching you for the first time. I love your rant. You're spot on, man. This is great. Just people like, I just love your rants. This is the best part of my Sunday. You know, Giants fans are like, this is the best part of my Sunday, dude. You help me, make me feel better. You know, you make me laugh or whatever it is. You're like, the Giants suck, but at least if they lose, I know I got you to at least entertain me. So I'm glad I'm glad that, you know, a lot of you guys find it entertaining. It's helpful to me to get all the frustration out. It definitely is. But I always really appreciate, everybody that watches those. And hey, we went over 152,000 subscribers from that video. So appreciate that very much. We're only 848,000 away from 1 million. That'll never happen in my lifetime. I would need like 3 or 4 viral videos, and that would probably never happen again. I got lucky the one time, and it wasn't even on my channel. It was just my video that went viral, but did not go viral on my channel. Sam, thank you, bro. John Mara is enjoying a medium right now. And yeah, the comments, and yesterday's live stream were absolutely hilarious. Some of them are hilarious. Laid back. Thanks so much. Can I jump ship and be a Ravens fan? You can do whatever you'd like. You can do whatever you like. You can do whatever you like. You can do whatever you like. Yeah, I'm thinking about jumping and becoming a Colts fan. Tutto! Grazie.
Thank you for being a friend.
My guy Tudo was correct. You were correct. Tudo says, much respects, King of New York, Bad Dog, and all dire Giants fans across the pond. Greetings from my entire team in Edinburgh, Scotland. Please slap Fat Fuck Dumbo. Tudo told me for years Fat Fuck Dumbo was a shitty head coach. He sucked. He was terrible. They had to fire him. He was ass. And I kept saying, Tudo, we just got to give him a chance. Tudo, I hope you're wrong. Tudo, I still think Dable can do it. Tudo, you were right. I was wrong. You were right. You were right, bro. You were right. He sucks. He sucks. I got to get a new $5 song. I keep forgetting about that. Chris and Bad Dog's intern. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Thank you for being a friend.
Someone tell Carl Banks and Papa to kick rocks with Mara. Hashtag bootlickers trying to discredit creators who put their all into this sorry ass team. I don't know what happened on that. I don't know what it had to do with Carl. I don't really know. Carl takes a lot of shit on Twitter, and I think it's unjustified. I like Carl. But what it is, what I think anyway, I don't know what Bob Papa was talking about. I just thought it was funny. He's one of them creator guys. I know we're beneath Bob Papa. The way he said that made it seem like we were beneath him. That's why I'm like, hey, I'm proud to be one of them content guys. But with Carl Banks, I think Carl Banks gives a perspective none of us can give. He's a Hall of Fame NFL linebacker who's won 2 Super Bowl championships, and the man knows football. But Carl can't. I know Carl's frustrated with the team. Carl can't just come out and scream at the team like I do. He works for them, obviously, in one capacity or another. I mean, he's on the radio. So he works for the Giants. Like, he can't come out and say what I do. That's why I like being one of them content guys. Because I can say whatever the fuck I want, whenever I want, however I want. This is my channel. I can say what I want. There ain't no censorship here, baby. This is all me. And I've said this a million times, dude, and I'll keep saying it, right? I don't want to be an analyst. I don't want to be professional. I don't want to break down film. I'm not a wannabe ESPN guy. I don't want to be on fucking Bleacher Report. I don't want that shit. All I like to do is come on here and talk with the fan base and get our frustrations out on a bad team. And when we won in 2022, we had a lot of fun calling Giants games. We had a lot of fun in the chat. And I understand the frustration. It's not just the fans. It's obviously the beat writers, and it's the analysts, and it's the players, and it's the coaches. Losing will do that to you. And this team loses more than anybody else over the last 8 years. But they have to maintain a certain amount of professionalism. I do not. Content creators do not. So maybe they don't use as colorful language as I do, but we can certainly criticize the New York Giants a lot harsher than they might criticize them. But yeah, the way he said one of them content guys, again, it was very demeaning. So that's why I was like, yeah, I'm one of them content guys, but I'm proud to be one of them content guys. Because this is all me. This is my personality. 100% me. Taco Master, my guy, I'll be seeing you soon, brother. Your team sucks ass for the flavor, so does mine. I can't believe you guys lost. You're not Cheddarhead. I don't know I forgot who your team was. But Taco Master will be here for the Lakers streams. We love Taco Master. My kid does. My kid always likes the name Taco Master. Lamar just has to get rid of it. Wow. Lamar's something else, man. Matt, thank you, bro. He says, Clown Dable, Clown Shane, and Clown Bowen t-shirts. Production's on their way. Medium, large, extra large size available. Clowns, Gettleman, and Judge Vintage Edition in 2026. We are a total clown show. A total clown show. No doubt. Tuno, grazie. Bad Dog, we discussed this before. There's nothing wrong with the Giants' young talented rosters. It's all coaches. Poor design, just not knowing how is the Bad Dog playbook. I'm telling you, or Brian Dable's playbook. You're right, Tuno. I agree with you, too. I think there is talent on this team. I totally think there's a lot more talent on this team than there was when Shane took over. There's definitely some real superstar level guys. The Leak is already a superstar. I think Brian Burns is a superstar. Abdul Carter definitely has the potential to be a superstar. Cam Scatterbu looks really good. Kayvon Thibodeau's having a great season so far. He's been a dog this year. We don't know what Jackson Dart's going to be, but there's definitely a lot more talent on this team. Obviously, Dex is incredibly talented, although he's off to a slow start this year. But, you can see it. But if you don't scheme these guys open, if you don't call correct plays, if you don't game plan around these guys' talents, then it's going to look the way it's looked. And you're right, Tudo. Brian Dable and Kafka and Bowen do not get the most out of their players. Because you're right. I do think it's a young, talented roster. I really do. And I think, it's kind of like what happened in 2020. I was all in on Joe Judge. I thought Joe Judge was going to be this great coach. We were 6-10, and I know that's not good. But remember, they lost Barkley halfway through the second game of the year. They went into Seattle. They beat a really tough Seattle team on the road with Colt McCoy playing that game and Wayne Gallman. And I thought, man, when Joe Judge gets a healthy squad of players, he can really do well. And he never did. But Joe Judge never had the talent around him that Dable does at all. But the first game in Denver after in 2021, I just turned immediately. I turned on him like that. And that's exactly what happened with me and Dable the first game of the season. After 3 years of being patient, Tuto, and as you know, defending him and sticking up for him after 3 years of that shit, after game one, I was done. And I said, I'm not defending the guy anymore. I'm not defending him. So you were right, bro. Larry, my friend, what up, legend? But Baddog, how can they prove how they are offensive geniuses and Dable is a quarterback guru if they run the ball for a TD? I guess that's a great question. An offensive genius knows how to score points, I guess. I don't know. But I have a feeling Jackson Dart's going to start. That's something we got to talk about too, man. I have a feeling Dart is going to start Sunday. I do. Way sooner than we wanted them to, but these guys are struggling to save their job. Russ has been bad 2 out of 3 games. Not that it's all Russ's fault, just like it wasn't all Daniel Jones's fault. It's bad play calling, it's bad schemes, it's bad blocking. It's a lot of that crap, the inability to run the football. But Jackson Dart may get the start this week, and this is really just to save their job. I feel bad for Russ. I feel bad for Russell Wilson because this is another guy that Brian Dable is going to sacrifice for himself. This is another body that Brian Dable is going to throw under the bus to save himself. But the only other body in front of Dable now when he makes this change is Jackson Dart. That's it. And if Jackson Dart can't stop that bus from coming, it's going to roll over both Jackson Dart and Brian Dable on its way to Joe Shane. Russell Wilson deserved better, in my opinion, than 3 starts of the Giants. Trade him. You have 3 quarterbacks. Jameis Winston's on this team. Russ ain't coming back next year. Cincinnati really needs a quarterback, man. They do. They have no Joe Burrow for 3 months, and you saw what they did this weekend. Trade him to Cincy, get a 6th-round pick. Oh, the other thing is I was joking around on Twitter when I was like, and I did this before the game, mind you, not after the game. But, people are slow on Twitter. People are very slow on Twitter. It's a potato factory. It's a potato farm on Twitter. They're like, no way Cincinnati's giving up a 2nd pick. I was being facetious when I said give up a 2nd-round pick for Russ. But move Russ to Cincy, get you a 6th-round pick. Dart moves in as a starter. Jameis is your backup. That was the plan anyway. It's just obviously going to take form long before they wanted it to because of the ineptitude of the New York Giants. JTF says, why does the NFL keep making us suffer by putting the Giants in prime time? They should be banned from our TVs until they can play confident football again. I think every team gets 3 primetime games. I'm pretty sure every team gets at least 3 primetime games a year. So the Giants don't play on Sunday night again. I think they have a Monday nighter and a Thursday nighter against Philly. That'll be a disaster. But at least, and I know that the Giants are going to suck, but I'm actually going to look forward to going to the Giants game on November 2nd. I haven't been there in a while. Tim and Online Big Blue is going to be there. He said he's at F8, so I'm going to try to swing by and meet him. I'll ask Patty Train if she's going to be there. I would like to meet her in person as well. I hope Chris can make it down there because I'd love to see Chris again. I used to, whenever I would go, I'd always stay overnight. We're not doing it this time, which sucks. I don't want to get up that early and drive. I'd rather spend the night there, but that's not the way it went down. David, thank you, man. He says, time to tank. If your team doesn't go 2-2 at the bare minimum, they most likely won't make the playoffs. Yeah, the Giants are nowhere close to the playoffs. Even if they were to beat Los Angeles somehow, and LA is undefeated, and they're a good team, and they're very well coached, and we know our team is not. So there's no way in hell that Brian Dable is out coaching Jim Harbaugh. So we're probably 0-4. But even if we did find a way to pull a monumental upset, and then you go to New Orleans, you figure win that year 2-3, then you get out of New Orleans and you look at Philly, at Denver, at Philly. You're not winning any of those games. Giants literally are looking at 1-7 in the face right now. So the thing is, I don't know who to tank for this year. They have their quarterback, supposedly. Yeah, they get a lineman at this point. B-Rog. I'll be meeting B-Rog down there as well on November 2nd. He says, Wilson was brought here to win games. He is not. I don't care anymore. Fire everyone and trade everyone but Dart, Burns, Neighbors, and Scatterbo. I can get on board with that. Start over. Keep Dex, too. I would keep Dexter Lawrence and Thibodeau and Carter. I'd keep our front four. I'd definitely keep our front four altogether. But offensively, yeah, I'm fine with Dart, Neighbors, and Scatterbo. I'm fine with that. And Andrew Thomas. I just wish Andrew Thomas could stay healthy because you see when he's healthy, he was actually good. But I like those. Giants. Thank you, bro. Baddog, what protein powder, vitamins, and other healthy product you take? I'm trying to build muscles. Also, what workout advice would you give me? Well, I can tell you this, dude. As a guy that's worked out for 15 years, I can tell you that diet is absolutely everything, man. Diet's everything, bro. You have to eat healthy. I don't really take protein powder a lot. If I do, it's Jim. It's Pro Gym from Jim Stepani. I swear by his products. I take just creatine monohydrate. I take Pre-Gym, whatever it is, Pre-Gym Plus, which is a pre-workout by Gym Supplements. And but I eat so much protein just in general because I live on ground 99% fat-free ground turkey and grilled chicken. That's really, and protein pancakes, yogurt, and bananas. It's really what I live on Sunday through Friday. Saturday, I don't really count. But again, man, I looked like this. This picture is me. This is me in 2018, okay? I had worked out at this point for 8 years. 8 years I've been working out. But you see how fat I am because my diet sucked. Then I got really excessive with my diet, and I ended up looking like that, which that was a little bit too lean. That was unhealthy there. Although I feel like I look my best there. I feel like I look at my best in that picture. But that's a lot of diet. And it's a lot of work, man. Like I said, I've been in there 15 years. I go 5 days a week. So it's just a lot of work. It's a lot of consistency. It's eating right. And it's on days when you don't feel like going. Those are the most rewarding days. You have to drag your ass in there all the time because you can't go on a Monday and then go Tuesday and go, well, it's Wednesday. I don't feel like going. And then, Thursday, I'm tired. And then you're like, well, it's Friday. I'm just going to start on Monday again. You can't do that shit. You can't do that. Man, I'm 50 years old, man. I'm 50 years old like this. 50, boom! I'm a man. I'm 50, right? Body Armor Sport Water, too. You got to get some of that. That shit's good. That's really what it is. It's just consistently exercising. Try to get your protein from food as opposed to protein powder, but Pro Gym is the stuff I take. I like Pro Gym a lot. It's the best tasting protein. It blends really well. It's good stuff. My guy, Roldy. What up, brother? What's going on? Roldy. Do me a favor.
Give me a hell yeah.
What up, Baddog? All I'm going to say is I appreciate you. You're not just a content creator. You're part of my family, bro. Thank you for being there for me in the 9 years. Roldy, I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. Trust me, man. You've been with me a long time, too. Your family as well. Roldy been around forever. Hopefully, our Yankees can pull it off, right? At least we have the Yankees, Roldy. At least. Maybe. Maybe not. But I appreciate it, man. And that's a big, that means a lot to me. And that's another thing I got with my post-game video was people saying, dude, one guy actually said, I'm not even a Giants fan. He goes, but I always tune into your content because I think it's very admirable that you're always there. You never back down. You don't run away. You don't hide. You do those Super Friends streams where I've been the worst team in this division for years, and I have to deal with those guys every month or twice a month. And yeah, while it would be easy to disappear because my team sucks, I don't. I'm always here. Telling people, hey, I was wrong. I was wrong again. What can you do? It is what it is. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact people see my dedication to the Giants, even though they suck ass. My guy, Taco Master, thank you, bro. Mike Malone could win more games than your coaches. Bro, anybody could win more games than our coaches. Anybody has won more games than our coaches here the last 3 years. I don't know that the Giants have had anybody's had a worse record than the Giants since the middle of 2022. I don't think they have. Theo, thank you, bro. 2011 is my only best memory of this team. Otherwise, they just make me sick. I say it all the time. I feel bad for the younger fan base. I mean, I'm old. Enjoy your youth. But that's one positive thing about being a Giants fan at 50 years old is I've seen all 4 Super Bowls. And they were amazing. They were amazing. Billy, thank you, bro. He says, yo, Baddog, love the vids, brother. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate that, man. The Giants are ass. Ass. They are ass. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, girls, watching the videos. Like I said, that means a lot. And again, if you can share the video out anywhere, if you have any social media or just tell people or show people, the more people that see these videos, listen, I can tell you, and I know for a fact, the players, they can't avoid this. You're going to hear it eventually. Which I always laugh when there's other people, like other fans, like, oh, the fan base is the reason that they're failing. The fan base boos them so they don't perform well. Motherfucker, if the friggin' players can't perform because players are booing them, you're in the wrong profession. Your job is to go out there in front of those people and do your job, which means perform, which means win games. They get paid tens of millions of dollars. None of us will ever know what the hell that's like. These guys play a game for 10 years, and they are set up for the rest of their life. These guys are retired at 31 years old with more money than they know what to do with. While us suckers who work 9 to 5s, paying our bills month to month, trying to scrape a few extra dollars in a savings account to do nice things for our family, spend thousands of dollars to go to those games, to pay for those PSLs, to pay for those concessions, to sit in traffic, to pay for parking, to take up hours of our time on Sunday. I think fans have the right to voice their displeasure, and if the players don't like it, fuck off. That's something you won't hear from the damn media. Too bad. That goes in the territory. Man, if my ass showed up late for work every day, you don't think my boss would say something to me? You don't think I'd get written up if I showed up late every day? If I wasn't doing my job every day? This isn't a team that's been 9-8, 11-6, 7-10. This is a team that has been 4-13, 3-14, 5-11, 4-12, 0-3 for the 7th time in the last 10 years or whatever it is. Too bad. The fans have a right to voice their displeasure. Win, and they won't boo you. Win. They don't want to boo. Nobody pays tickets, not just to Giants games, but to any game. Nobody goes and pays all that money for a ticket and goes, God, I hope my team loses today so I can boo them. It's also embarrassing that our stadium is no longer it's not home field advantage because other teams' fan bases take over. Because the people that pay all that money for the season tickets say, screw this, I don't want them. They sell them. They sell them. I'm not paying all this money for this team to go 3-14 again. I ain't spending all the money. If I can recoup some of my money, good. I don't care if I sell it to an Eagle fan. I don't care if I sell it to a Cowboy fan. I don't care if I sell it to a Charger fan. Give me my money back because you're not giving me my money's worth. Too bad. So sad. So I'm saying you'll never catch me on a Bleacher Report. You'll never catch me on any media outlet. Never, because I am way too rough around the edges. Way too rough. Because I speak my mind, man. I'm not one of these guys that's all censored and I want to be all kind and I got to be nice and nicey nice and I have to say the right things, man. Fuck that. That's not the way I'm not wired that way. I say what I feel. I say what I mean what I say. I don't want to bash this team. People think that's all I want to do. Win! Win! Oh, you're negative, Baddog. All you do is bash the team. All the team does is lose. Go back to my videos in 2022. I don't think I bashed them once, even when they lost. I certainly wasn't this harsh on them. I might have been disappointed in a loss. Even getting destroyed by the Eagles that last game in the playoffs, I'm pretty sure I just said, hey, it was a hell of a run. We ran into a better team. I don't even think I was mad about that. 2022, I don't believe I had one rant the entire year because I was so happy that they were actually above 500, that they were actually competing in games, that they actually made the postseason and won a postseason game with Brian Dable as the head coach of the first year. I was pleasantly surprised. I forgot what the hell it felt like. Genuinely happy that year. And then it went right off a cliff. And then we get worse. And then we get worse. And then Barkley goes to Philadelphia and wins a Super Bowl. McKinney goes to Green Bay and is an all-pro again. And now Daniel Jones in Indianapolis looking like he should have been picked 6th overall. He didn't look like that here. I think the fans have a right to be frustrated. Michael, thank you, man. Russ is washed. The air balls out of the end zone are his fault. Kadar is most likely starting this week. Kid has balls and will provide a spark. He'll definitely provide a spark, but he's going to mess up too. He's going to mess up too. And I saw Darius Slayton talking about if he struggles the first couple of drives or whatever, don't kill. And I agree with that. You can't boo him when he's just starting his NFL career. That I agree with. That's a little bit over the top. I agree with that. But I'm not blaming Russ for throwing the ball out of the end zone. On 4th down, you have to throw it to somebody. You can't throw it to the goalpost. And intentionally grounding the ball was stupid. I'm not, saying it wasn't. Those patterns are terrible. Russ had nowhere to go with the ball. Russ had nowhere to go with that ball. And why are they running a quarterback draw on 2nd down and goal from the 14? That play made no sense. None. If you're going to run, bring Jackson Dart in there. Big move. Don't start Dart. As long as he sits, we have hope. Hopefully he comes in there, bro, and we have hope anyway because he's good. Remember Daniel Jones' first game against Tampa Bay? Remember how excited we were about that, how well he played? All we can do is hope that Jackson Dart has a start like that. That's it. That's what I hope anyway. I hope. JC, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. My guy JC says Papa, in my opinion, wasn't trying or insinuating that content creators will blow him. He says the same about the media people. We all talk smack, so let's not be hypocritical. Speaking to all, let's not be fragile. I'm not fragile. The way he said it made him seem like that. I said right in my comment when I retweeted it. I'm proud to be one of those content guys. It did. That sounded demeaning to me. Maybe I took it incorrectly. But I don't think he was trying to be insulting. I don't think he was trying to be insulting. It's the way he said it. And sometimes the way you say things come out the wrong way and you don't mean anything by it. I'm totally guilty of that shit. I do it all the time. I always say things that my wife's like, you hear the way you talk to people? Because I'm just short with people sometimes because I get impatient. I'm a very impatient guy. So I don't have the patience for like, stupidity, like no common sense, like ignorance. I don't have tolerance for that crap. So I'm not saying he was insulting. The way he said it sounded insulting, but that's why I said I'm proud to be one of those content guys. And I didn't go out there and attack Bob Papa in any way, shape, or form. Some people did, but I didn't. I just said I'm proud to be one of those content guys. But the way he said that, it sounded insulting, whether he meant it that way or not. He's like, who is he? Is he a fan? Is he one of them content guys? That sounded insulting. That sounded like he doesn't know as much as me because he's a fan. Well, Bobby Skinner is not just a fan. I mean, Bobby Skinner is great at what he does. Bobby Skinner talks to players, talks to coaches, played at college level. He knows his shit. He's very smart. So I would trust anything Bobby said. Bobby's very, very good at what he does, and he knows his shit. Cortez, thank you. He said, I told you, Baddog, too many turnover of regimes for it to fall on the coaches. But when you can't fire family, coaches and GM will continue to fall on the axe. That's a fact, too, bro. I've said this. Chris Mara's got to get out of there. The nepotism within the Mara family is disgusting. This is why it doesn't change. The front office is a disgrace, and we need a president of operations. John Mara's got to stop doing the hiring. John Mara needs to sit back, take care of the financial part of it, sign the damn checks, and let somebody run your day-to-day football operations. He needs to let somebody else do it. Thor, thank you, bro. He says, yo, Baddog, Dable keeps saying we're going to continue to develop Dart. That scares the fuck out of me. Dable just says stuff to say it. No, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough today. It's not good enough. Just wasn't good enough today. I got to be better. Players got to be better. Blah, blah, blah. Rinse, repeat. Guys, you just record a tape and then just give it to the media and play it. He says the same shit all the time. Moo says, if we put Dart in and he plays like crap, then what? Well, then they lose their job. But Moo, if they don't put Dart in and they start off 0-9, they might lose their job without ever seeing Jackson Dart. They got to go down with the ship, brother. They got to go down with the ship. You can't strike out with the bat on your shoulder. You know what I mean? If they're going to strike out, they got to go down swinging. And maybe Jackson Dart is a hanging curveball that they line up the alley for a double, and it gets things going. It starts a rally, and then the next thing you know, the Giants are good. Maybe it buys them more time at the plate. You know what I mean? But if you sit back there and you watch Russ continue to struggle, and you're not in any of these games, and the offense is disgusting, you're just going to keep getting more and more pressure to start him anyway. Because then everybody's going to be like, why aren't you starting him? This season's a wash. You're not going to win anything with Russ anyway. And now you're 0-6. I mean, what are we doing? What are we waiting for? That's why they're going to put him in there. They're going to put him in there to try to save their job, which is the scenario we did not want to see as Giants fans. JT Russ. We keep hiring the first-time offensive gurus to fix a broken team. We need a guy who's been there, done that, Mike McCarthy. I'm not the biggest McCarthy fan. I always felt like he underachieved. I feel like he had great teams in Green Bay, and they should have won more than one Super Bowl, and they didn't. I feel like Dallas had a lot of great teams, and he was there, and they couldn't get out of the first round of the playoffs. I like Cliff Kingsbury. That's a guy that I definitely would consider. He's been a head coach in the NFL. He obviously knows how to work with quarterbacks. I would go that route, but I'm with you. At this point, JT, I want somebody that's been there, done that. I agree. Mike, if Mara should upgrade us to large Pepsis. Agreed. He should upgrade us to alcohol, bro. They should give away free beer. Seriously, man, like a free beer. Like a 12-ounce beer. Don't need to be a big one. Don't need to be a pint. Like a 12-ounce beer. That's it. Taco Master, thank you so much, brother. He says, I used to go, I can't wait for the basketball streams just because this is giving me the last year that you can rip on LeBron, though. You know, LeBron's not going to be a Laker after this year, right? I'm still going to cover the Lakers, too. People like Baddog and LeBron's off the Lakers. You're going to cover the Lakers. I said, of course I'm going to cover them. I cover the Lakers no matter who's in uniform. I'll be covering them. It'll be interesting to see the dynamic of the team without him when Luka is the guy. It'll be interesting. He says, I used to go to the gym 5 days a week and nothing. So I got a trainer and that motherfucker tried to make me go. Well crafted, my friend. Well crafted. Roldy, thank you, man. Baddog, do you realize what you do to people's lives? I don't think you realize, bro. No, sometimes I do. And I've said it before, it's like very humbling. Like I had a guy, I went to PetSmart a couple months ago getting stuff for my dog, and my wife was there, my kid was there, and this guy just says to me, he goes, you look really familiar. And I'm like, yeah. He goes, are you on YouTube? I'm like, yes. He goes, you Baddog? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, oh, he goes, dude, he goes, you're like my favorite content creator. He's like, I just want to thank you for everything you do. And I'm like, I'm just like, thank me. I'm like, I don't do anything. Like, I just yell at my camera. He goes, no, man. He goes, you don't know how much that means to me. Like, I just love hearing you talk about the Giants and all this stuff. My family's not Giants fans. And it's just nice to have somebody that shares my aggravation with, I had a woman DM me and on Instagram telling me that her boyfriend passed away and that he used to love Chris and I, and he used to walk around and, talk the way I did. And he always wanted to meet me and, how much it meant to him. And I inspired him to go to the broadcasting school. Like some of those stories, man, when you hear them, it is amazing. I guess what this does mean to some people. And I guess I never really look at it because I don't really consider what I do anything special. I'm just an idiot that yells at my camera. That's really the way I look at it. I don't feel like I do anything special. I know during COVID, a lot of people said to me, dude, your live streams got me through that. Like I could have never got through COVID without the live streams, because not only could you not go out of your house and everything was shut down and there's no human interaction when you live stream, even though you can't like physically interact or, shake hands or any of that stuff, you are talking to somebody and you had a chat, where there's 400 people like there is now and you could talk to one another and at least you had some kind of interaction. And I tell people all the time, you guys got me through that as much as I got you through it because I needed it too. The best thing about that whole thing for me, I got to work from home. I would kill to work from home. A lot of state workers get to work from home. I don't. I would love to work from home, man. Mr. J. Merritt is Sleepy John. That he is, bro. That he is. Big Blue Boss, they made a member 3 months. You, Chris, and Top Pistol inspired me to start making my own vids. Thank you. Also, we need a new president of football operations. I agree. Mara's got to step down and let somebody else run it. He's got to let somebody else steer the ship. He's got to let somebody else steer the ship without question, man. He has not done a good job. And he's getting older, and he can't run a franchise today the way he did back in 1990. It doesn't work that way. Times have changed without question. That's the other thing, though. I've got that a lot over the years, is that people started making videos because of me. That was always a big one. Which again, it's very humbling to think I inspire anybody to do what I do, because I'm just a fan. I don't want to break. I said it before. I don't want to break down film. I don't want to be on Bleacher Report. I don't want to be on ESPN. Like I don't like to do that. When I do play-by-play, it's because I've always wanted to do. That's my dream, to be a play-by-play guy for any sport. But I love the fact I can do it on YouTube and I can do it with my own flair and my own colorful language in the comfort of my own home. So I think that's fun. Pedro, I think we remember for a month, brother. He says, what about Gruden? I don't know about Gruden. He's been out of the game so long. And again, I think his coaching style wouldn't translate to today's game. Like, I always worry about that when a coach has been away for so long. I can remember Joe Gibbs in the 80s. I was growing up and he was the Redskins head coach, and he's one of the greatest head coaches of all time. He won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks. He played in 4 Super Bowls. They lost to the Raiders in 83. And then Gibbs retired, and then he came back like 10 years later, and it was never the same. He had like 40 assistant coaches. There was too many chefs in the kitchen, and it was a total disaster. So I don't know about Gruden. I just feel like he's been out of it too long. I'd love Gruden to be like something with the organization, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd want him coaching. It's a good game right now, 14-14. Yuri, thank you, man. I was excited this year. Me too. Thought about attending a game, then I said, nope, I'm good. Unbelievable. Yeah, they got me, man. I was going to go to the Chargers game. That was the one that I wanted to go to. It was late September. I figured it's a great week to go. It's nice weather. And I figured the Giants would be good, but my buddy DWG, who I go to the games with, had a wedding. There's a wedding next weekend. This weekend is a wedding. So he couldn't go. So we decided on San Fran because obviously the home opener was a night game. The game against Philadelphia is a night game. So, we decided to go to the Niners game, which will be the beginning of November. So it won't be warm, but it shouldn't be really cold. I think the average high early November in East Rutherford is like low 60s, high 50s. That's perfect football weather. I just put a sweater on, put my Cam Scattaboo jersey on because I'm getting a Scattaboo jersey and go watch Giants. But they suck, but I'm still excited to go because I haven't been in a long time and I want to go eventually. I haven't been in 6 years. I try to get there every year and something always ends up happening. This year we took the plunge and said, let's go to the game. JWN stars looking at the game. This is the New Jersey Giants, the New York Giants. Wherever they play, bro, they suck. They could play on Mars, and this team would be terrible. Jaden says, how can we trust Mara to hire a president of operations? That's a legitimate question. It's a legitimate question. You'd have to find someone that's done it before. You have to find somebody that's experienced in that manner, I think. I think so. I don't know. Andrew's caught that one. Pan Am says, feel bad you have to witness this live. Witness it live all the time. Yeah, well, this is true. The Giants have made good sense. They removed Tom Coughlin. He was unceremoniously fired. Or resigned, but you're right. He was wrongly removed. I totally agree. Totally agree. Giants versus Martians might not be a bad one. Might not be a bad one. Might not be a bad one at all. Might not be a bad one. Oop. My guy Dyer Giants fans in the house. What up, bro?
All in all, it's just another brick in the wall.
Yeah. Mara is a curse. Why am I miniature tonight? I don't know. I just made the camera lens smaller. I mean, I could easily go big. I could easily go to the side. I go over here. I go here. I can go here. I can go down here. I can go here too. Oh, I can't go there. There we go. But yeah, I don't know. I just like it better than this. I don't know why. I like that. I like the way it looks better. Miniature night. That's what she said. Hello, Aaron. Thank you, bro. I told you to start Dart at the beginning. Even I would do a better job as Jan. On another note, you want You want a first for Burns? No, we're keeping Burns. We're keeping Burns. Starting Dart wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. Maybe against Washington. It wouldn't have mattered. He wouldn't have played better against Dallas than Russ did. Listen, man, Kansas City is really tough. That's a really tough defense. So I didn't want to start Dart at all. JL says trade our first for Tomlin. We could really use a guy like Mike Tomlin. Steelers fans hate him, which is amazing. Amazing. Get us some Body Armor Sport Water. I'm going to have to get another bottle of this. I got so much of this stuff, man. Body Armor takes care of me, man. Make sure you go to bodyarmor.com, get some of this. I actually have some more flash sticks coming because I really like the flash sticks. But I'm telling you, this water is really freaking good, man. My kid knows the difference between this and when I get it out of the sink because he'll say to me, Dad, can you give me the good water in his thermos every day? I like it. And people ask me about working out. You need to, especially if you're taking creatine, you need a lot of water. A lot of water. A lot of soda, too. I need that. Calf, thank you, brother. I'm starting to think it's never going to get better until John Mara either steps down or sells. It's legitimate. I mean, John Mara's the common denominator in all this bad football. The common denominator in all the bad football is John Mara, without question. Chris, thank you, man. He says, I think there's a solid chance the new GM head coach regime will take their own quarterback instead of trying their fate with the previous regime's guy in Dart. I think it depends on where we pick, and I think it depends on how Jackson Dart looks. If Jackson Dart looks bad and the Giants are 2-15 and they can get a Garrett Nussmeier or a Drew Aller or whoever they like, it's very possible the new GM does do that. We saw Arizona doing it, and it wasn't even a new GM. They drafted Josh Rosen. They traded up to get Josh Rosen. And the very next year, they took Kyler Murray. So it's happened before, and I think that matters. If Jackson Dart plays well, it's not going to matter because Dable and Shane are going to keep their job, But if Dart looks like crap and they lose games, they're gone. And that'll be it. My guy, Tuto, grazie, brother. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you, brother. Do me a favor.
Give me a hell yeah.
When blood, pain, and struggles is all you know, fighting on the battleground becomes natural and quitting becomes impossible. You can't ever possibly beat a man who doesn't know how to quit. Tuto! If that ain't the truth, brother, this is why I'm always fighting. This is why I never quit. As much as I want to quit covering the Giants, and I do, I don't. Because I just keep thinking to myself how much sweeter it's going to be when we actually turn this shit around. And I can say that I was here all the time when it was bad. And nobody could accuse me of going, well, bad dog, you weren't around when the team was good, and all of a sudden they're good, and you show back up. Nobody can accuse me of that. When the Giants are good again, if that ever happens in my lifetime, people will be saying, bad dog, I was with you when the Giants were going 3-14, and you were yelling at the camera every week, and we were struggling, and we hated everything, and now look at us. And we can sit there together and say it was all worth it. Because if we ever do win it again, this will all be worth it. It'll all be worth it if the Giants can win again. B-Rog, thank you, bro. He says, I wish we could have a coaching history like the Steelers. 3 coaches since 1969. It wasn't even a glimmer in my parents' eyes. You and me both. And that would be great. Consistency, right? Consistency. Think about it, man. We've had 4 coaches in the last 8 years. They've had 3 in the last 56. Right? Isn't that crazy, dude? They've had 3 coaches in 56 years. We've had 4 coaches in the last 8 years. And Brian Dable is the longest tenured coach because this is his 4th year. Nobody else got past 2. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Without question. Again, I want to give a big shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring the show tonight. Check out Sleeper, guys. And if you're going to play on Sleeper, make sure you enter the promo code BADDOG. You get a 100% match deposit bonus all the way up to $100. Links in the description. Click on that link. Get your free money. You go in up to 1,000 times your cash. It's just betting over under on player stats, which is a lot of fun. So you can, pick your over unders. If you have really good football knowledge, you feel like you're going to win. It's a lot of fun. It takes like 30 seconds to do it. There's daily fantasy, baseball, college basketball, college football, WNBA, NHL. You can do that every day. If you get somebody injured, it voids your contest. You ain't got to worry about that. You get fast and easy payouts. It's available in 30 states. So check out Sleeper. Really appreciate them coming on board this football season. Like I said, man, make sure you use that promo code. You might as well get free money. You're going to do it and you're going to have fun. You're already a winner by clicking that link in the description and enter that promo code BADDOG. You've already won at that point. And it seems easy, but I'm 1 for 4. I'm 1 for 4. Not good. Not good so far. Sarkon says, how come every team can use tight ends, but the Giants can't or won't? I don't know, bro. How come the other teams can run the ball and they can throw it to their wide receivers and they can do flea flickers like this with the Lions and they can run these trick plays and they can throw the ball downfield and they get the receivers and they can actually tackle. We can't do anything. I always wonder why the Giants make everything look like a damn root canal. And they make everything look so difficult. They make a 3-yard pass look so hard. Unless they're playing Dallas. Wasn't hard against Dallas. Mike, thank you. He says, Austin 316 says the Giants suck ass. That they do. That they do.
That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
That's right. That is right. Where's my why not have it? There it is.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
All out of bubblegum. I agree with that. You definitely don't want Dart to play against Spagnuolo. That would be a disaster. That would have been a disaster. My favorite band is the Temptations. Temptations. Although I love Journey. It's definitely one of my favorites. Journey and Foreigner are like tied for second, but definitely the Temptations are my favorite group. I love the Temptations. Yeah, They Live is one of my favorite films ever. I love it. I used to know it word for word when I was like in 7th grade back in 88. Crazy. I know you're not talking to me. I don't know who you're talking to there because we don't score multiple touchdowns every week. I don't know what the hell we do. Bye-bye, Brandon Brown. I mean, maybe they promote Brandon Brown. I don't know. Irish says, hit the like and subscribe. It's free 99. It is free 99. Chris and I have known each other since the middle of 2018. And while I really don't consider anybody on the internet my friend because I don't really know them like that. I do consider Chris a friend because Chris and I have, like I said, we've been working together 8 years now, since November 2018. Well, 7 years, I guess, but 8 seasons if you look at it that way. And I mean, we, talk a lot outside of YouTube. So I consider Chris a friend. So I told Chris whenever somebody's, like Darius Slayton said something to him on Twitter, Chris like, it's not really a big deal. I still have Chris's back. It's not like I went out and I cursed Slayton out, but I just told Slayton, hey, listen, man, that's Chris the last guy that's trying to insult anybody. Me, on the other hand, I might throw a jab at you because I don't give a shit. But Chris ain't looking to do that. That's why we work so well together. Chris is the calm one. Chris is the steady one. Chris is the good cop. I'm the off the chain guy. I'm the guy that, with the quick temper. I'm the bad cop. So that's why sometimes when Chris gets mad, when he gets mad, I love it because I'm like, yes, let it out. Get pissed. Anthony.
Give me a hell yeah.
Appreciate you. My guy Anthony says, heard you speaking about Pop earlier. I'll just say, love hearing folks like you and Bobby. But the only thing worse than the Giants is listening to Bob Papa speak about them. Again, I don't know what that context was. And if you listen to the second part of it, he's pretty much just talking about how fans have the right to be frustrated. I have no problem with what Bob Papa said. It's the way he said he's a fan. Oh, he's one of them content guys. Like, oh, he's just one of them guys that's on YouTube or he's on Twitter. He's not really important. The way he said it made it sound like it was meaningless. You know what I mean? It was his delivery of it. But I don't think he pretty much went on to say fans have the right to be frustrated. The Giants are 0-3 and they're not winning and they're like they've lost 9 of 10 at home and fans have every right to be frustrated. It's just the way he said that particular line that caught my ear more than anything else, you know. Chislow, he says, Eagles somehow won. Well, that's because they're the Eagles, and that's why when you're defending champions, you know how to win games, and when you're the dregs of the NFL like us, you know how to lose them. Tommy's going without Daniels. I lost all my fantasy leagues this week. All I wanted was one win, but of course, Giants lose again. Yep. Bad week, bro. Bad week. I won my fantasy league, and we have Derrick Henry going tonight. I didn't even need him. We had already cleared. We actually had Wan'Dale Robinson and Travis Kelce going last night and Derrick Henry going tonight. We had already won before any of them played because we have Daniel Jones. I'm 3-0. 3-0 in my league because I have Indiana Jones. I didn't start him week 1. I started Penix week 1, and they ended up with the same points. But I started Jones the last 2 weeks. Evan says, credit for you to stick with the Giants. I'm not going anywhere, bro. You can call me a lot of things, but bandwagon, fair weather, not one of them. Not one of them. Strider says, you an instigator. I definitely can be. I'm usually a counter puncher, though. Like, I don't usually go and throw the first punch. That's not my nature. Like, I won't go to somebody's YouTube channel or go to their Twitter page and just insult them on their page. Like, I won't. That's not normally what I do. Like, I won't go to somebody's content that I don't like. I don't even waste my time with it. So I'm not wasting my time to go leave a negative comment. So really, no. I definitely throw some troll comments out there on Twitter to like fan bases. I do it, but like not anybody in particular. But it's nothing like personal. I just be like, oh, Jalen Hurts got carried. Because I know it irritates Eagle fans. So instigator that way, sure. My trash talk can be considered instigating, and that's what it's supposed to be. However, people comment me and call me names, man. I might just swing back at you. A lot of times I don't even bother because I'm like, this guy's not worth my time. But sometimes I'll give him like a, go fuck yourself type of thing, or you're a loser type of thing. Or I'll make fun of their spelling, or, I'll let them know that, you're watching me, buddy. Like, I'm the one with the silver play button. You came to me. Right? I ain't go to you. You're watching my channel. So that type of shit. But I don't go out of my way to. That's not my way. It's just not. It's never been my way. I'll defend myself tooth and nail, but I'm not going to start shit. It's not who I am. Because it's wasted energy, in my opinion. Austin, thank you, brother. He says, should have never let Wink walk. It's been downhill with this regime ever since. Yeah, you're not lying. It's been bad. It's been bad. I actually got blocked by a few people. It's funny. Like, I don't even know I got blocked by people. I'm not talking about like beat writers. There's been people like I will go to like comment, like, why can't I comment on this person saying I'm blocked? I'm like, I don't even know who this person is. Ryan Dunleavy blocked me because I gave him facts when he told me I had a really stupid. Again, he said I had a really stupid tweet. He goes, this is a really dumb tweet when I talk about how something about Barkley, how the Giants couldn't afford to pay Barkley. And they ended up with these guys instead of Barkley, and that we weren't going to win any more games. And Barkley, as good as he was, could have won games for the Giants. And he didn't win games for the Giants when he was here. I said, how many games did he win? That's what it was. I said, how many games did the Giants win when Barkley was here? And he goes, this is the dumbest tweet. How many games did Burns win? How many games did Ducks win? How many games this? And I said, that's not my point. I'm like, my point is he was here and he was great and we didn't win any games. So why would you keep him here when you have so many other holes in the team that need to be filled? And the running back is a luxury position. And he mentioned Andrew Thomas. And I said to them, I would think that somebody in your position would understand how much more important a left tackle is to a team than a running back. And he blocked me. And then he got called out by a lot of people that don't even follow me, called him out and said, this is a bad look on you. Because then he goes, I block people that are nasty to me. And people look, they go, I didn't see him be nasty to you at all. You were nasty to him first. So I retweeted when he blocked me and I said, this fucking bastard has no idea. And I go, this guy's a pussy. He thinks I was nasty. He goes, he has no idea who I am or how nasty I actually can be. And that was kind of the end of it. And then Josina Anderson blocked me. I guess I had that one coming though. Eventually she was going to block me. She didn't want any smoke with me. She'll respond to some people on Twitter. People don't want smoke with me. Those beat writers and these media personalities, I will crush them into a fine powder. They know not to get in a verbal argument with me because I will destroy them. So they pick their battles, and instead of responding to me, they just go, I don't want to deal with that guy. They block me. All I said to Josina Anderson was, because she had this narrative about how the Giants should have drafted Shedeur Sanders, and Giants fans need to close their eyes because Shedeur Sanders had a good first preseason game. And then Dart had a great game. And then, of course, you give it back to her. Oh, I hope that the Giants fans should be closing their eyes about Jackson Dart. Oh, Josina, who had a better week? I'm asking for a friend. And then she went on to say, like, Jameis Winston never got a fair shake at being the number one starting quarterback for the Giants. And all I said to her was, I said, I'm seriously worried about your mental health, Josina, and she blocked me. I mean, here I am worried about her well-being, and she blocks me. Anthony, thank you, bro. Crazy thought. Why didn't we elevate Spagnuolo? We did. So they did elevate Spagnuolo to head coach in 2017, and then they went in a completely different direction after that. But he was the interim head coach after they fired Ben McAdoo. But remember, Spagnuolo went on to take the Rams job, and he was terrible as a head coach. Some people are just meant to be coordinators. Buddy Ryan was a great defensive coordinator. Okay, head coach. Rex Ryan, great defensive coordinator. Pretty good head coach, not great. Wade Phillips, bad head coach, great coordinator. Spagnuolo's like that. Great defensive coordinator, bad head coach. It happens. Some guys are just meant to be coordinators. Ben McAdoo, great offensive coordinator, shitty head coach. It's tough. Head coaching, man, you got to manage a lot of personalities. And some people can't do that well. Some people are not leaders of men. And they're just good coordinators. They're really good at that particular aspect of football. But when it comes to taking over the whole thing and overseeing the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, linebackers coach, offensive line coach, all that stuff, when it's all that, and you got to manage a player's egos and all this other stuff, and you got to be the one to answer the questions. There's a lot more pressure on it. Some guys can't handle that. Some guys can't handle it. Pierce, yep. I mean, I don't know what LB is head coach. I mean, that's a popular name. Shermer's another good one. Really good coordinator, very bad head coach. So that's thing. I don't know how. It was a big run. I don't know how he would be as a coach. Honestly. Miss Kitten says, things are bad when Dable isn't even cool. Well, I mean, he gave Conklin the play calling at the beginning of the year, and I thought it might actually do some good, but it obviously hasn't. It hasn't done any good. Evan, thank you, man. Our next coach, yes, I agree. We gotta get somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. We gotta get a former head coach somewhere, or get a college head coach. I don't know how good Lane Kiffin would be in the NFL. I always worry about college head coaches. Remember Nick Saban? I mean, he went to Miami. He was a terrible NFL head coach. Greatest college coach ever. Bad head coach. LA Lou, thank you. Who would serve as the interim head coach? Not the coordinators. I honestly think it would be Kafka. Lou. I do think it would be the court. I think it would be Kafka because he's had interview jobs or head coaching interviews. So I think it would be him. It definitely would not be Shane Bowen. I think it would be Kafka. I think they'd hold on to him because maybe the Giants would consider promoting him to be their head coach next year. I honestly think that would be the guy. It's not going to be Bowen. It's not going to be Brasillo. It's not going to be any of those guys. Henry, thank you, bro. I remember you saying you were at the game. He says, seeing the game live was worse. More Chiefs fans than Giants fans. That's what I heard. And that's the home opener. That's how down Giants fans are on the team, that they sold their tickets to the home opener to Chiefs fans. Best part of the game was everyone screaming, sell the team. Start Dart and miss DJ. That's pretty cool. I knew they were chanting for Dart. And I felt bad for Russ. But Russ knows, and Russ is going to get that again. If Russ starts this week, hey, listen, I'm not saying I want Mike Kafka. I'm just saying that's probably going to be the guy. Yeah, the Swifties definitely had somebody. We had our own Taylor there, though. Lawrence Taylor was there, but that's true. Fire Dayball, probably. The chants are going to be good, but if Russ starts week 4, you know those boos are going to get louder. Bringing Dart chants, or we want Jackson, or whatever the hell it is. Those chants are going to get louder. And if we were winning football games, nobody would say a damn thing. Nobody would say a thing about it. Irish Rover, brother, thank you, man. He says, in order for us Giants fans to survive mentally, we must always expect the worst, and hope for the best. Do we want better? Yes. Do we deserve better? Yes. Will we get better? Yes. Someday. Agreed. It is tough. It's been very tough right now to be a Giants fan, without question. Russ isn't starting. Well, he didn't make like a claim. He just said he was leaving the door open for a change. I honestly think that they should trade him to Cincinnati. Get a 6th-round pick and move on. Let Russ go to a contender. Cincinnati has really good talent there. Burrow's out for 3 months. Russ can be your base. He's $10 million. If that's what backups get paid anyway. Burrow comes back and Burrow's healthy. Russ can back him up. It ain't going to be the end of the world. Russ is near the end of his career. But Russ could give Cincinnati what they need. Jameis is going to be the backup next year. Jackson Dart's the future. Russ goes no farther than this year with the Giants. Give him his opportunity to win in Cincinnati. Give him an opportunity to get another contract. Don't just sit him at the end of the bench and let him collect dust to where he can't get another contract. Do it for Russ. Be a professional organization. You're not going to keep him. So if you can get a pick for him, it's a win-win for both sides. You get an extra pick, and he gets to play starting quarterback for a much better team than he's on right now. And I love Russ. Russ has always been one of my favorite quarterbacks, and he always will be. He was a great player, won a Super Bowl, 10-time Pro Bowler. He's going to the Hall of Fame. I wanted him here in 2019. There was rumors of him being here in 2019. I remember that. Consummate professional. Like, I love Russ. I wanted the best for him. I really wanted him to have a really big year with us. And not even a really big year, just a good year. I wanted to win some games. He had a great game against Dallas, which we know was going to happen against Kansas City. But I feel bad about the situation that he got put in. And obviously we knew as Giants fans, and everybody knew, that if Russ struggled and they got off to a bad start, which both have happened, those chants for Dart are going to get louder and louder and louder and louder because Russ isn't the future, and everybody knows that. And we're not winning any games, and everybody knows that. So what's going to draw you to the ballpark? If you know you're going to go in there with Russ and you're going to have a little chance to win, kind of like it was with Daniel Jones when he was here. And again, you can blame the coaching staff. You can blame Jones. You can blame Russ. You can blame whoever you want. Fact is, Daniel didn't win here. Russ didn't win here. So when you're going into a game, especially when Daniel Jones was hurt, and we had guys like freaking Drew Lock and Tim Boyle and Mike Glennon and Jake Fromm, and they were playing. What's the reason to go to the game? What is the draw if you're playing Russell Wilson and you're 0-6? What is the draw at that point? You're not seeing your future. Even if you're 0-6, but Jackson Dart's starting, you can say, hey, at least we can get a look at a future and see if we have a quarterback here that can play. So the situation was going to be bad for us unless he got off to a really good start, which he didn't, unfortunately. Henry, thank you, man. He says, if we start Wilson, I would think we don't care about winning. Many people are saying they're returning or selling their tickets. I mean, that happens all the time. That happens all the time. Lou, dang man, I say get Kleeman and Messingham offense. Yeah, I don't know much about those guys, to be honest. But the Giants definitely need somebody that's had head coaching experience. They should have got Harbaugh. That's really who they should have got. They should have got big Harbaugh. They should have got Jimbo. Why not put Winston ahead of Dart? I mean, because honestly, I think it's the same thing. You're not going to win any games with Jameis Winston, and Winston's not your future. Again, I think it's more about the draw. And the other thing is, with how bad the Giants are right now, Jameis Winston's not going to save Brian Daboll and Joe Shane's job. The guy that can save their job, even if they continue to lose, but their quarterback plays well, is Jackson Dart. Even if Jameis Winston came in here and played well, and the Giants still lost games, they're not. The front office is going to say, "Why didn't you play the kid? If you thought that highly of him, why isn't he playing? Why are you starting Jameis Winston? You're not trying to win games." So I just don't think that'd be a good look. Jameis was brought in here to be a backup, and that's what he is. I just can't see. There's really just no reason to start him. The whole reason you're going to start Dart early is because you're trying to save your job. There's no other reason to. You know, if the Giants were, say we're in week 6 and we were 4-2 going into Philadelphia, and something happened to Russ where Russ got hurt. At that point, I think you would say, we're going to go with Jameis instead of throwing Dart to the Wolves. At that point, I think you'd say, okay, let's try Jameis and see how that goes. And then if not, we'll go to Dart. But the fact that they've started off so poorly again, and these guys know their job is hanging on by a thread. Jackson Dart is the only lifeline for these guys. All the lifelines are gone. All the bodies have been thrown under the bus. There's nothing left. Jackson Dart is their lifeline. That's it. That's it. Yeah, they got to sign Koo. They got to sign Younghoe Koo. They have to. We can't trust Gano at all. You know. So it's crazy. I need Chris to be a GM, and I don't want to be that coach. Like I said, I'll take the defensive coordinator. I'm the guy that yells. I feel like defensive coordinators need to do a lot of yelling. I do. But listen, guys, we go on an hour and a half tonight. Again, I always appreciate you. Chef, thank you, brother. He says you're doing a great job. Sorry we suck. Hey, I'm sorry for all you guys that we suck too. Don't feel sorry for me. Don't feel bad for me. You guys are going through it just as much as I am. I feel bad for all the Giants fans. Young and old, especially the young ones, though. At least us older guys remember glory days. These kids that are like in high school or just out of high school, I've never seen them win anything. I feel bad for them because it is a hell of a feeling. I got lucky. I missed the dark days from 1964 to 1983. I missed that 20-year gap of crap. I started watching them in 84, and they made the playoffs, and they won the Super Bowl 2 years later. And then they won the Super Bowl 4 years after that. And although they'd have some down years, they'd have some up years too. Like they might miss the playoffs a couple of years back in the playoffs. Might miss the playoff a year back in the playoffs. You know, maybe they didn't make the playoffs, but they were 9-7. You know what I mean? They were never really bad for many years in a row like they have it now. This is the worst stretch of Giants football I've seen in my lifetime. And it's not close. This is a very long stretch of bad Giants football. And it is painful to watch it every freaking week. And I'm going to continue to do it every freaking week because it's what we do as fans. Anyway, again, I really appreciate all the support you guys give the show. Thank you for watching the post-game video. If you haven't done that, check it out. Thank you for tuning into the therapy session. I would love to do a victory lap one of these days where I could drink a glass of scotch and we could talk about a win and have some happy vibes. And as always, huge shout out to everybody that donated, because I always say this, man, I don't expect anybody to donate to the channel, but the fact that you do means a lot to me. So I'm very grateful for that. Thank you so much. And we will see you tomorrow night, Giants Collective, 7 o'clock. It'll be me, Adriana, Anthony, and Entertainer. We'll talk about it as a group. Hope to see you there. Until then, watch the rest of the game. It's a good one. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bad D Dizzle, I'm out. Peace.